up, and it was on the front page of the New York Times.
Yeah, that was
So
pretty
yeah, that was
interesting.
powerful. That didn't show here, but that came up today in the discussion, and I thought that was amazing because to go from no media coverage to some media coverage and them realizing what they needed to do to make sure that their voices were heard, I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, a lot of times what happens with the kids, a lot of parents they seem to quiet them out. You have to let them speak and let them open up so they can show, like kids are really more noticeable than the adults because they consider innocent, and they only learn by sometimes what we teach them. But I noticed that kids don't see color, they so innocent when it comes. It's what you teach your children is what they learn. You know what I mean? What they know. If you teach them to be open-minded and outgoing and keep them away from all that negativity, you'll be surprised how open-minded and wide these kids. They know a lot. They know a lot. They know more than what people think they do. Shoot, they can tell you from A to Z a lot of times if you just let them.
One thing I would add as well is listening to this and listening to that young the man that was in the video with the white beard and some guy. He is Jittu Brown, and he was explaining that this privatization of these schools and magnet schools and charter schools, this is happening around the country. And so when he was talking about that and talking about how badly it affected Chicago, I thought about right here in Hartford.
Yeah.
Because I'm from New York initially, so it hasn't happened a lot in New York, but I see it happening a lot here. And I've heard that they're about to close, another 5 schools here in Hartford, and it's the people. If the people don't do anything about it and they don't make noise about what's about to happen, then nothing is going to change. It's going to continue. They're going to continue making these charter and magnet schools. The black teachers are going to continue losing their jobs because it's not just the students that get affected. The black teachers get affected too because they're not hiring black teachers. They're hiring a lot of white teachers. And then a lot of the students from other towns that already have good schools are coming into our neighborhoods and taking the spaces of the children here, and so the children here are not afforded a fair education, if you want to put it, so to speak. So yeah, and it's happening everywhere. When she was talking about it, I was like, my God, that's exactly what's happening in Hartford. So
well, in Hartford school,
They go with education. Put it that way.
if the teachers was to be like, I would say, I moved out of Hartford 10 years ago. I'm back. But my kids is not back in Hartford. They still at their houses. At the same school they was at, from first and second grade. I don't think if the kids were to be taught, and when they taught in Hartford, it stops there on level 2 for 3-4 years, move the kids up. I mean, each level they're supposed to pass. They're not supposed to stay on level 2 for 2 years. So if you get the right teachers into the school and teach your kids, then they'll be all right. Then you're going to have to send your kids out of town.
one thing I think about teachers, and I might be wrong, I just feel like a lot of teachers are defeated and get discouraged and they just don't even care.
They're not caring about nobody's kids.
They're not
Just go with the flow.
right, but that's because
Yeah,
they're
because
not.
if you gotta have teachers that really care, you gotta be on point with the kids too. So if you're not being, like you said, not participating in the school, then your kids not gonna be nothing. I mean,
Yeah, I show up anytime I want to. They tell me, oh, you ain't supposed to come at an appointment. Appointment my behind.
no.
I know that in the state of Connecticut that we are allowed to go whenever we want to as a parent. I mean, you don't go and disrupt the class, but you should be able to go and check on your child.
But if, like I was saying, if you participate, they do acknowledge the parents too. Because I know I got a lot of awards just by being.
For being there.
Yeah.
Well, we've had discussions before in past cafes, and a lot of things came up is that some parents, they just don't have the ability to be there because of their work, like 2, 3, 4 jobs. I'm just saying, these are things that came up. You understand? Like, not the kids necessarily, but that because they work so many different jobs and the times that the parent-teachers meeting are.
My oldest will be 29, so therefore that's no excuse.
But you find time, but there are other people who are not in the position to go at a specific time and show up at that specific
No,
meeting.
you go
And might
when-
schedule
You
something.
gotta make time when it's
Amen.
when your kids
Got to
decide
make
you
time.
got
All that
to
job
make
stuff.
time.
No, but what I'm saying, that was things that came up. What I'm saying is, some of the suggestions were, if you can't make it to a specific meeting,
You
then
always
you
gonna have a
schedule
phone
to see
meeting.
some
Yeah.
other time, or, well, hold on, let
Exactly.
me let, this lady go, and then you, and then we'll start with,
Yeah, I got it. What about this?
I'm sorry, what's your name?
My name is Tammy. When we're talking about the teachers not caring, a lot of them get burned out because a lot of the kids become labeled as behavior problems, either through trauma from homes, you know what I'm saying, or they might not be on the level as other kids, and then so either they start to be quiet, and then the kids tease them, and they start to act out or not come here. So I'm saying that to say this, that a lot of this stuff starts at home with trauma, you know? You gotta make time for these kids, because if not, you're gonna leave them to the streets, and things are gonna happen to them. And when things happen to them, they're gonna act out behaviorally. And then the teacher's really gonna push them to the side and try to get them out of the class, because now that you're a behavior problem, I have a reason that I can get rid of you. I can get you out of the classroom, or I can try to get you on medication. But a lot of the teachers that come from out of town, that come here, they come because they get a break
We
on their
gotta be
student
respectful,
loans.
remember the rules.
They get a break on their student loan. I think it's about $5,000 to $6,000 per year for coming to work in a city school.
Yes, extra
So that's a
money.
lot of their incentive for them, you know?
They get higher
Your
pay,
turn,
yeah.
Taki.
Yeah, I just wanted to add on what she was saying, because like, I've been through that, you know what I'm saying? My son, my 5-year-old son got autism, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I had to do a lot of fighting against the state and the schools, and, you know what I'm saying? And I'm young, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, me, when I first started out, I didn't know nothing about it until I started seeing how it was for my son, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I had to do a lot of keys and meeting with a lot of different teachers and stuff like that. Now, my son has the support that he needs, you know what I'm saying? And it's just relieving to know now that I didn't give up, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times I was frustrated, I done lost jobs, like, I done been through a lot of stuff with that, but it's all in what it means to you. Like, at the end of the day, I knew that I had to fight for myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No matter what.
Yeah.
If it's something that I wasn't sure about, like, I'm still learning to this day.
Me and you both, sweetheart.
It's like, it's all in what it means to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I was dumbfounded to it too, but you
I'm
actually
thinking that you into the special education piece of it.
Yeah, he is.
No, that's what I'm saying. Once they can do that, then they start to try to separate them, you know what I'm
Right, so
saying?
before then it was like, you know, they was kind of
Pushing them to the side.
Yeah, pushing them to the side. I got kicked out of a couple free schools and stuff like that. So it was like, when I started seeing that, I was like, whoa. And I'm making it a behavioral thing. It's not a behavioral thing. It's just the support that we need.
That's
what
all
I
the
had to do.
setup for these magnet schools. When you are in special education, I don't know about now, but a few years back when it started, you were not under the Hartford. Say you went to school in Hartford, you couldn't go under the Hartford Board of Education and get those special services.
Right.
You had to go under the Easter Seal.
Right.
And that's whenever they decided to come in. If that school, like take for instance Jamoki, when Jamoki started, if you had a special need, you weren't getting help from the disability people in Hartford. You had to go through Easter Seals. But Jamoki didn't get that for a whole year because parents started to advocate.
Right.
Other than that, those special needs kids would not get any help.
Okay, so that was this discussion regarding the video, and we could go all night about the different things that should be done and what's not. But we have another question for you guys, and is, what do educators in your child's school do to bring kids who come under resource up to the level of those who come to school with resources already at hand?
So this is a small group activity, so use the people at your table. You have magical buckets on
Can you
each
bring the
table.
question close?
Or read it again.
I'll read it again.
You said
You have
resources, you mean
markers.
books or like
Resources, whatever. So this says, what do educators in your child's school do to bring kids who come up under resource up to the level of those who come to school with resources already at hand?
So resources already
The camera?
like for instance, y'all go to the school like the African.
Some children do not have the same resources as other children. So say you come from a more affluent community, you come with certain resources.
Okay, hold on. Let's be respectful of the
Does
rules.
everyone understand the question?
She's explaining the
Yeah.
question.
Are you asking us to put up, like, some of us can't relate to that, you know what I'm saying? Because maybe our kids, you know, do have all the resources, so you're asking us just to put it ourselves in.
Yeah, but maybe there was a time that your kid did not have all those
Right, right,
resources,
right.
yeah.
Can I, like, for example, like I went to my brother's school. They go to school in Southington, and I noticed like the activities that the teacher does to make sure that all the students are on the same level. So they'll play certain games or whatever. Is that something like that? Is that what you're asking?
They still
Yeah.
have gym and stuff.
Yeah, one of the teachers.
Okay, so like the activities that they do in the classrooms, like so basically.
You gotta discuss it with your group.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a group discussion. Is there anyone else who does not understand the question?
So you have newsprint on your table. Move the flowers and the toys and stuff and use the markers and jot your information down.
Sorry.
I think